how's it going? My name's Drew and you are watching the Melody League Sessions, a series of live stream house concerts with the goal of benefiting the music makers of our time. Here's how it works. We collaborated with Wedgwood Circle, a great organization that helps fund artists bringing good, right, true, and beautiful art into this world. Through that collaboration, you get to watch these free live streams, and we hope that you'll click the link and donate to the artists that you see. This is Tyson Motsenbocker. All right, we're here on the Melody League Sessions Innerveiw with none other than Tyson Motsenbocker. What's up, Tyson?
I'm just glad that, like, you know, after all these years, you can pronounce my name. I'm impressed.
Yeah. For a while, I probably did it wrong, and I'm very sorry.
No. I feel like you did the thing where you like kind of waited until you knew.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
John went with the mumble approach for a long time. Tyson.
John is notorious for calling people the wrong names on stage, like on accident. Like
he never did that to me, but he would mumble it a little bit, which I respect. I think it was a smart move, honestly.
Yeah. He mumbles our lyrics all the time too. It's fine. It's just a part of it. You know, it's great. Like, you know, who writes this
I saw him on stage one time with Sarah Watkins, and I was standing next to his wife Emily, and I said, "He doesn't know the words, does he?" And she looked over at me and she said, "No, but he'll make all the right sounds." And it was the most amazing, like, vote of confidence for your spouse that I've ever heard. Like, we all know that he doesn't know the words, but he's still gonna pull it off.
Yep. And it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, we know this about music, Tyson. As long as you act like you know what you're doing, then you'll be all right.
It's so true.
You know?
So true.
Anyway, I want to welcome people who are tuning in. We're gonna do an interview with Tyson, and we're just going to chat about all kinds of whatever and cool stuff. I'm trying to think, Tyson, when did we first meet? Like, when did you and I...
Yeah.
Do you remember where we met?
That's a great question. I think when Hawaii was working with you.
Okay, right. Yep.
I think maybe we met then, but it was definitely like in and around it would have been after I went on tour with John Solo and well before I went on tour with Switchfoot.
Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing you at, like, I want to say House of Blues, small room, like the Voodoo Lounge or something.
Yeah.
With the band. I think Audrey was playing bass and
definitely
something like that, and it sounded great. And I was like, who is this handsome fella with such amazing songs?
Thank you, Drew.
And then when you came out and opened for us, you called it like sad guy comes out with an acoustic, because your songs, when you play on acoustic, they're so compelling that the whole room gets quiet. And you know that's kind. But it's amazing because.
Well, I would always joke with the crowd because I was imagining myself like getting really amped up to go to a rock show, you know.
Exactly.
And then I'm like, yes, and I'm all pumped, and like maybe I drank some Red Bulls or something, and I'm standing there in the crowd, and then it's me. I'm like the first one out there, just like and everybody gets quiet and kind of like introspective. And I'm like, I'm sorry that I just ruined your night. like I hope that this took a turn towards something wonderful, but I know that it's not what any of you expected.
Yeah, but you didn't ruin it. Like, people just get like drawn in, man. You're you're hypnotizing, you're mesmerizing. You've got the goods, man.
Thank you.
You know what I just remembered? We did a show at in LA for Wedgwood at the
Viper Room.
At the Viper Room, right?
Yep. And I missed my flight. That was the night we flew to Louisiana.
Oh yeah.
And I had just started working with a new manager, and she didn't have my like the number that the frequent flyer number, to get through the pre-check number.
Yeah.
So you and I, we were late coming back from the show because we were having such a great time. And then you went through pre-check, and we were running to catch the plane, and I got up to the end, and I had my bag with like all my merch in it for the show. And they stopped me, and you went through and made the flight, and I didn't. And I had to sleep in LAX that night, and I missed the show.
That's right.
Yeah, I missed the show.
I forgot.
And I remember Well, it ended up being a really funny story because I slept on the floor of LAX, and then the next morning, they bumped me, and I literally landed, and then somebody came and got me, and I pulled up as you guys were walking off stage. And in Louisiana. But we did another show on that run though that was really fun. I remember it was just a couple. That was like before I went on tour with you properly, and we did like a couple one-offs.
Yes.
But yeah.
So good, man. Man, I forgot about that. We've gone through some stuff, man. We've been
totally. And then we went to Bangladesh together, and we were flying over Iceland, and we were having talks.
Yes.
Yeah, we've had a lot of good times together, dude. A lot of good times.
We've been worldwide.
We really have.
Our friendship goes international.
It does. It does.
So I'm calling you from my garage. Mm-hmm. Hopefully my wife doesn't get home and open the door.
That'd be kind of cool, though.
Are you home in San Diego?
Yep. I'm at my house, and my friends are in the living room watching the Michael Jordan documentary, and I'm here hanging out with you. And we're not too far from each other.
I know. We're in the same city. We're both in San Diego.
Yep.
I was at the studio today picking up some gear, and it was the first time I've been in the studio, man. We're doing, we're social distancing, and none of us are going into the studio, so we're recording from our houses and garages and whatever.
I feel like every time I see one of you guys on video, you have more stuff from the studio in the background.
Yeah.
It'll be like...
Dude, if I just picked up, like, some pedals and an amp.
Yeah.
And then a keyboard and a computer. And, like, one guitar. All I had was a Les Paul for a little while, and I was like, I need to get a Telly, so I got a Telly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I got a Telly right there, see?
I'm seeing that, man. That's awesome.
What is that? Telly right there.
What is that?
That's a Jaguar bass.
Jag bass.
Yeah, but I got some other ones here. Look, I got this Gibson here, and I got a.
Oh, that's nice. What is that? What's that Gibson?
It's a Gibson Gospel. So it's like the one that came before the J45, and then I have this Dan Electro baritone. I played that. I didn't play that on tour with you.
No, I didn't see you play that one. That's a reissue right here. I've got an Ridge right here.
You got an Ridge. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's a silver tone.
That is so cool. Is it a baritone?
No, it's just the regular.
Yeah, those are awesome. You don't really play baritones, do you?
No, I haven't. No.
I got this one too. Check this out. Since we're doing guitar stuff. This is the first guitar I ever got. It is a Peavey Predator.
Oh, yes, I've seen those.
And it's basically just a Stratocaster, but I was trying to do the Blake Mills thing, so I put this Live Strong bracelet here.
Nice.
And it's baritone. It's tuned to a baritone, and it's all over my record. Like Tyler Chester and I used it for everything. It's the first guitar I ever bought.
Whoa.
It's funny how that happens.
That's good.
Isn't it funny how that happens? You have all these nice guitars, like the Tully. I have a Gretsch, like a nice Gretsch that I play live a lot, and it's not on the record at all, but this Peavey Predator is all over it.
People would laugh if they saw some of the stuff we play in the studio. Like
you can't play it live because it's so unreliable. Like that guitar won't stay in tune.
Yeah.
But it's the most interesting stuff to track, I think.
Yeah. Whatever sounds good is good in the studio, and I still have my first guitar in the studio as well. Never get rid of that. It's a piece of you. It's a piece of
totally.
You.
What's your first guitar?
Yeah, it was a Strat.
It was?
Yeah. My first guitar was an Applause acoustic.
Is that an Ovation?
The plastic Tupperware back.
It's the Squire of Ovations.
Yeah, it is.
That's awesome.
It was so bad. It was the Applause.
Those things are rough, yeah.
And then I got an Epiphone Les Paul. And I sold that, and then I got a Fender Strat.
Dude, the first Strat is a big deal.
Yeah, it was my first deal. My friend worked at Fender, and he goes, "Oh, I'm not going to use my employee discount. You want to get something?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I got this custom shop Strat.
Amazing.
At an employee deal. And then I found out later, when I had a guitar tech on the road, my guitar tech, Eric, took it apart, and he goes, "Dude, that guy totally fooled you. He just put this guitar together with spare parts at Fender."
Oh, no way.
It's not even a custom shop guitar.
It's just like it's like the hot dog of guitars.
It's
It just scraped
total-
the stuff that was on the ground back into it.
exactly what it is. And he took the custom shop logo and he scraped it with his thumb and he's like, look, dude, you can scrape this logo right off. It's not real.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad 19-year-old Drew doesn't know that, though. You would have been devastated.
Yeah. I still kept it. I still love it.
Yeah, you got to. You know what else I got, dude? What? See this? I've been learning how to play the cello, dude.
What?
Yeah.
You're really learning how to play the cello? That's amazing.
Well, we're stuck inside, you know?
Is it hard?
It's so hard, man. It's so hard. So we're recording this so like when I'm not on the road, I like make music for TV commercials and movies and TVs and stuff. TV shows. And we always have to like use the synthetic like strings, right, and they never sound right. And I was like, well, I think I can do this if I just get enough tries at it. Like if I could do enough takes, I think I can do it. And oh my gosh, I've spent like I just sit there until I'm trying to get it in tune. And like I texted our friend Keith, our mutual friend Keith, and I told him, I was like, dude, I don't know how you do this. And he laughed at me. He's like, you just got to keep doing it. But I don't know if I have the patience for it. Like you play the guitar and you can play the guitar in like a few days, you know?
Frets.
But the cello is its own world.
No frets.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Like with the lockdown and everything and the social distancing quarantine stuff going on, are you finding it harder or easier to make music?
It's been really fun to make music. I mean, I'm fortunate enough to have this, you know, just in my bedroom here, but I have this little studio set up and I can make music and make demos for the new record and stuff. It's been a really creative time for sure. But yeah, it's one of those where it's like, man, I don't know how long you can, it feels like this moment of like kind of hyper productivity. But we're not in the world. And that's the thing that's been so interesting that I've talked to a lot of people about is like, you can't write music about music. You have to write music about life. And there's still a lot of life that's happening, you know, while we're inside and stuff, but kind of that observational songwriting, which is what I tend to do. I'm not observing very much, you know, like it's like I observe my house. I observe the Michael Jordan documentary, but that's about it.
Tell your roommates thanks for holding it down in there while we do this interview.
Oh yeah. They don't even know. It's a secret.
Okay.
What about you? Have you been making music or?
It's been hard, man. I got to be honest. I was a little bit thrown off my game with this. It's just sort of trying to figure out how to process everything and what information to take in and what's going to happen. I mean, we had probably 4 shows cancel right away, and then we had to cancel our Bro-Am event because of the city, and you know.
Was that going to be in July?
Yeah,
it was.
It was the end of June.
Yeah.
But you know, and so it's really uncertain, you know, time for our industry. It's almost like the industry is struggling, but music is still thriving, and we still need artists to help us process and express things.
We talked about that. You know, you called me right after I got home because we did the tour together with Colony House, and then I was joking with Tim because he was like, I said, yeah, we decided to do the same tour but without you guys, and then Tim was like, yeah, we did the same thing, like because you guys did the traveling road show, so you did the same tour without us. It was just you guys. I was like, oh yeah, we just liked the tour so much that we just split off. But yeah, we got back and we were talking about it, like, you know, it's such an unsure time for the industry. But on the same hand, there's never been a time that, you know, at least like in my living memory where we've needed music more, you know. It's like it's so important that people are making music now. But yeah, it's like who knows if we're ever gonna make another dollar from this thing. I mean, I think we will. I think it'll be okay, but it's just extremely unsure. We have no idea what's coming next and how it'll look and how the concert industry specifically will look. So,
well, that's one thing we're doing here with Melody League Sessions is finding new ways, new avenues, new streams to put music through, you know. So people are watching this, they're getting to know you, and then everybody is going to go and subscribe to Tyson's channels. And in the next couple days, he's going to do a Melody League session on his social media. And there'll
Right.
be a link there. 100% of everything you give or donate or tip or give goes to artists. And it goes
Right.
to the artists that you're watching on the Melody League. And so it's
Yeah.
really cool because this thing is going to pay it forward as well to a lot of artists that are
Yeah.
trying to make it through this time. We're going to support the music that we love. So right now,
Yeah.
everybody, don't forget, you got to subscribe to Tyson's channels. So like, get on
Go
his
subscribe.
Instagram, get on his
Yeah.
mailing list and everything, and he'll put out all the info about the Melody League session he's going
Right.
to do. But Tyson, when the coronavirus stuff hit, you were on tour. Tell me about that and how you got the news and what it was like.
It was really weird. So we were in Minneapolis, and because you guys were home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys were gearing up for some big stuff, but you were at home. Yeah, so we were in Minneapolis, and we got so a couple of the shows were like, where they're like, we're not sure if they're gonna happen, you know. And then DC canceled the day before, and so, you know, we kind of put out the thing that was like, hey guys, DC's postponed. But it was really scary. We were all like, oh my gosh, what does this mean? And then the next morning I was out, we were playing in Minneapolis, and I was out I was just skateboarding down to get some coffee from the bus. And I opened up my email, and I had an email from ASCAP, like from the American Society of Composers and Producers. It's like how we get royalties. And it said, the email said, Live Nation cancels all events. And I was like, whoa, like that. I was like, I think that these are Live Nation shows, or like at least some of them are. So like, we didn't get a call or a text or anything. It was just like, and so I called Caleb from Colony House. And I was like, hey, did you get this email? And he was like, yeah, I just got the call from our manager that said that everything's postponed, everything's canceled. Well, postponed, but indefinitely, you know. And so I was like, it was just a really weird time. Like I went back to the bus, and you know, everybody was in there gathered around the table on the bus trying to like figure out how to tell people that, because you want to, you know, the tour had so much momentum. Like all the shows were selling out, and you know, I had a new record, and Colony House had a new record, and people were super stoked on both of them, and there was a lot of great. We were coming off the tour with you guys that was amazing, and it was just like this thing where we were all just like, it just felt like we were like riding bikes and somebody just like put sticks in our spokes, you know, just like dead screeching stop. And yeah, it was, you know, I mean, I think all of us kind of tried to say, because the goal still is that, you know, we'll reconvene, and Colony House and I'll finish that tour, and then I'll do my headlining tour, which was also canceled, and you know, move on. But you know, you only put a record out once every few years, and you know, we both put records out, and it was just like we got 2 months of promoting it, and with a lot of great response, and then just like boom, dead stop. And so it was crazy, man. It was a wild time, and especially for both of us who are, you know, we're both still fairly new artists. Like we're still growing, and our fan bases are growing, and people are still kind of watching to see what we'll become. And so for that moment specifically, my second record and their third, for it to just be like boom, it was just like it was a crazy time, you know. I don't know. It's already hard to be a band, you know, but it was like that moment specifically just being like, man, I've had this record for a year and a half.
Right.
And the record label put a bunch of energy into it and time, and my booking agent, my manager, and my, you know, the guys in my band who got half of their day rates cut and are going home to families. And it's just like, oh man, this is a big deal, you know. And I came home, and everybody was just sort of like, yeah, it's fine. Like we just go home for a while. And I was like, not for us, man. Like this, this was an incredibly big deal for us. And maybe like, you know, maybe Colony House and I are kind of like a small portion of the entertainment world that are emerging artists that had records out right as this was going on. But it was still just, it felt just like it was a crazy time. Yeah. Still a lot of hope for it, but it was like crazy. Yeah. Thanks, man.
I'm so sorry, man. It's like it's like the rug was swept out from under you.
Yeah, that is how it felt a little bit. Yeah.
Like what is this? And you know, we work in live events. It's like, this is what we do. Large gatherings, the larger the better.
Right.
And now,
yeah, right.
that's done for
Right.
the, like, who knows what it'll look like going forward.
Right.
Well, but friendship and music remain, you know, and
Totally.
here we are.
Well, and this thing has been so cool, man. Like watching what you guys have done here, and it's like just watching artists kind of support each other, and even like, you know, just the public at large being like, we need music. You know, it's been really, really encouraging. And a lot of people have reached out saying like, how can we help? You know, how can we help? And that's always hard. I mean, I know you feel this way too. It's like, I don't want to be helped. I want you to like love my thing and buy it. You know, it's like, that's always how it feels. Like, I want you to come to a show and have a good time. And I want you to buy a record and listen to it while you're cooking dinner. You know, like, I don't want a donation. Right. But ultimately, it's like, that's what's so hard is like, you know, it's like, there's sometimes, you know, I mean, like, for instance, I just read an email from Amoeba Music, which is like, where I bought a bunch of my first vinyls, you know, in like Amoeba in LA and in San Francisco. And they're like, hey, like Amoeba's been around since the 60s, which it's a records, 2 large record stores. And they said, Amoeba's been around since, I think, the early 60s, and we've weathered a lot of storms, and we don't know if we can weather this one. And they're asking for donations, and they have a GoFundMe set up. And it's like, wow. You know, because ultimately Amoeba, like they're you know, they're giant culture makers. They always have been. Like all the cool bands that come through LA always do in stores in Amoeba, and they've been shifting the way that we've been thinking about music for 50 years, 60 years, you know. And they're saying like, man, we don't know if we can. We just need a little help here. And I think that like watching people say, being able to be open to that, and also realizing that like it's kind of this like unifying coming together. Or like what you guys did with this thing, which is amazing. It's like, hey, we'll chip some money in and then it'll pay forward and it'll be this snowball of artists helping each other. And it's beautiful. It's a really beautiful thing. But it's you know, it's hard to do from an artist perspective. It's like, I just want to play a show and have you buy a ticket. Like, I don't want to do this, you know? So you're going to be playing a show coming up on your social medias. For Melody League, it's going to be a Melody League session, and Tyson's going to play songs and get your music out there. And that's like what you were saying, that's what we want to be doing. And it's free live stream, but then we're just setting up this fund so people can click and you know, give in the place of where tickets used to be, because there aren't any right now available. Who else is have you talked to some other folks that are going to do these? Yeah,
so Colony House
cool.
has just done the first one.
Oh, awesome.
And we've got a whole lineup of about 12 artists that are lined up to do.
Amazing.
I've got...
is Jordy doing one?
Jordy Searcy's doing one.
Yep.
Zane Carney, Paris Carney.
Oh, right on. Yeah, he played guitar for John Mayer for a long time, right? Is that Zane? Yeah, his records are great too.
Yeah, man. Cool. I've got Darren King and Sucre.
Yeah,
gonna do one. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that's from Mute Math. Yeah.
Mute Math. Mike Maines and the Branches, if you're familiar with him.
Yeah, I went on tour with those guys too. Those are good friends of mine.
Oh, no way. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we did the John Mark McMillan tour together. They're great guys.
Okay.
Great guys and gals.
Too. Oh, Michael Gunger. You know Michael?
Definitely, yeah.
Him and his wife Lisa, they're gonna do one. Anyway, I think
amazing. It's such an awesome, like, this would never happen. That's what's so cool about it. Is like these artists. It's just a cool thing.
Yeah. We're gonna build community. We're gonna support music, and I think that's what people want. That's what we want to do. Yeah. And so, well, thanks Tyson for giving us an interview look into your room with your guitars, with your your records behind you, your setup right there. It's so cool to be able to like give people kind of a slice of just you and me hanging out, you know.
Totally. Yeah, and man, like, you know, you guys have been such a big part of my musical journey. Switchfoot has been, and you guys as friends. So it's just always a pleasure to be able to work with you guys. So Tyson, thanks for everything.
We love you, everyone watching. Subscribe to Tyson Motsenbocker's social media. You're going to find out about his Melody League session coming up in the next few days. Watch it. Click the link. Donate to the fund. We're going to help and fund tons of artists through this. We're going to support the music we love and the artists that we love. And we're going to keep always hope and always love.
Totally.
And friendship and music. So, thanks, Tyson.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
I think we're gonna get out of it just fine, but we do. It's nice to help each other along the way. So, yeah.
Well
cool.
said.
Thanks, Drew. High five.